Mic check. Test. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Testing. Check check.
Welcome everyone to the Fortin Center on the campus of Rocky Mountain College in Billings. Today, the Green and Gold Classic gets underway with an outstanding matchup to kick things off as the University of Montana Western Bulldogs take on the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. Tyler Wilchin and Bob Ritter out with you here courtside. And Bob, I think it's been a quiet, under-the-radar effort so far by UM Western as they've plowed along here into the holidays, but they're ranked number 9 in the country right now, just coming off of a couple of top 15 wins previous to the Christmas break. This looks like a team that's getting primed maybe to make a national championship run here in Billings come March.
Well, you know, I definitely think so, Tyler. You saw him, I'm sure, last year at the national tournament. You did several of those games for me, and they really didn't lose anybody. He's got a lot of experience back and definitely got, I think, the best player in the Frontier Conference, and Brianna King. She just does a great job of being a coach on the floor and takes care of things. But they might be under a lot of people's radar, but they're not under mine. I definitely knew that they were going to be back and very powerful.
That's right. There's no basketball that gets under Bob's radar, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and meet the starters today. UM Western comes into this one 9-0, undefeated and ranked number 9 in the country. They will go with Paige Holmes at one of the guard spots, a redshirt sophomore out of Sealy Lake, Montana. She'll be joined there by Britt Cooper, a 5'10 senior from Harrison, Montana. Sierra Lamy, a 5'10 senior from Wise River, Montana. Also in the backcourt, Brianna King, a 5'5 senior from Spokane, Washington, the team's leading scorer at 21 points per game. Tori Anderson rounds out the starting five, the 5'10 senior out of Rigby, Idaho. For Dickinson State, they come into this matchup 7-7 on the year for head coach Liz Lewis, a former Rocky Mountain College Battling Bear. She will go with Lacey Wade starting, the 5'7 senior from Havre, Montana. Ashley Larson, a 5'7 junior from Miles City. And then also starting one of their talented newcomers, Brooke Jans, a freshman, 5'11 from Sturgis, South Dakota, was one of their leading scorers in their previous tournament games right before Christmas. Joining her will be Rojan Karahan, who is a senior from Istanbul, Turkey. She stands 5'10". And then also rounding out that starting five, a 6'1 freshman, Callie McClenahan from Colfax, California. The ball is up in the air. Our officials this afternoon, Michael Ann Watts, Scott Cruz, and Corey Cutler. Montana Western wins the tip, and they'll move from right to left. Over on the right side, they have it. King has it at the top of the circle. She'll hand it off into the hands of Tori Anderson. Anderson back in that right corner. King drives. Anderson, top of the circle. She'll drive down the left side. Now kicks it out into the corner for Cooper. Back out front. Here's Anderson, a one-handed pass to King. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and she'll drain a three from the right side.
Now, great ball movement by the Bulldogs there, and King wide open for that shot. They just can't close out quick enough on that zone.
Outstanding three-point threat. You have to think not a lot of teams are going to be able to play zone against Western this year. On the left-hand side, Dickinson State with the basketball. They'll give it up top for Ashley Larson. Larson back out front to Jans. Jans deep in that corner for Wade. Back out to Jans, top of the circle, 8 on the shot clock. She'll dribble, penetrate, kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way for Larson. Off the back iron and no good. Rebounded by Lamy. She gets in the tie-up but maintains it in that corner. Here comes Western in transition. King stops at the high post. Now we'll kick it over on the left side. Driving is Lamy. Into the corner she goes for Cooper. Out on the right wing to Anderson. Drives to the baseline. Takes the long jumper and connects. Tori Anderson with her first 2 points of the game, and it's already a 5-0 lead for Montana Western.
Western doing a good job. Dickinson, if they're going to stay in that zone down there, Tyler, they're going to have to get their hands up. That cross-court pass, way too easy for Western on that last one.
Here's the drive and the hook shot by Wade. It's no good. She's fouled. Or actually, there's a foul on the rebound, I beg your pardon, as they're going to call that one on McClenahan, her first, and it'll give it back to Western. First foul of the game on either squad. Dickinson State was in a tournament right before the Christmas break. They went 2-0, feeling pretty good about where they're at as they get ready to head into the meat of conference play next week. Here's King in the corner. She'll drive the baseline. Her runner is good. She's fouled. And will go to the line for an and one. Call a blocking foul on Riley Helmick.
Right there, Tyler, they have to respect that outside shooting of King. Nice head and shoulders fake. Put the ball on the floor with the baseline for the old-fashioned three-point play.
King's shot is up and good. So she gets her first free throw.
Should have 6 points, I believe.
having a big day so far. You're right, 6 points. They changed that foul to go against Wallace. Now over on the left side, driving. The ball is stripped away. King going to the other end. She'll race in for points number 7 and 8. And a quick timeout here by head coach Liz Lewis. Didn't like what she was seeing out there. We'll go ahead and take a timeout as well. Back in 30 seconds.
Rocky Mountain College and Batman Bears Athletics would like to thank our corporate sponsors for the 2018-19 academic year. Altana Federal Credit Union.
Actually, they stretched that to a minute timeout, Tyler.
Okay, we'll go ahead and make this a minute if you can hear me, Dave. All right.
Where's mine? What? Oh, at 9:30 tonight. At 9:30 tonight.
And Corey Alvin, Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Well, welcome back as we watch UM Western come out to a 10-0 lead here early on in this basketball game. 7:40 still to play in the first quarter, and everything going the way of the Bulldogs so far.
Well, definitely, and I don't think Dickinson can play in this zone. If they do stay in this zone, they're going to be in trouble. Western just has too many weapons on the floor.
Now Western going to put on a press here as Dickinson inbounds coming from left to right. In the middle of the floor is Lacey Wade. Wade will get it ahead for Carahan. She'll take it down the left sideline, steps through the defender, gets it to McClenahan at the free throw line. She'll dish it right back out to Carahan. On the right side now with the basketball is Jans. She'll kick it out. Now they go left for Wade. 7 seconds to shoot. Wade splits two defenders and drains the jumper.
And she got in there, nice little runner there, and big play as the shot clock running down there.
Gets the first bucket of the basketball game. 10-2 lead for Western. On the left wing, King will fire another three-pointer and drains it. Nothing but net for Brianna King, her second three-pointer of the game. Now a foul called as Western was...
I think they just knocked it out of bounds, Snyder.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be out of bounds to the Blue Hawks.
A deflection right into that Blue Hawk bench. You get it in for Carahan, who will work the right side of the floor. Gets across the half-court line. Gets trapped there. Has to dish it off for Wade into the corner. Now back out, Wade on the wing. Top of the circle, they get it for Larson. Back to Wade. Over to Larson. Zone defense here for Western. They get it inside to McClenahan, who gets one off the window for two.
Nice movement inside for the easy basket, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be patient and find that open person.
So some adjustments for Dickinson offensively. They've gotten back-to-back baskets. Now Western with it. Penetrating is King. Kicks out. Anderson a three ball off the high back iron. No good. And the rebound comes off for the Blue Hawks. Larson in transition gives to Carahan over on the left side. Now she has it between the circles. Right side for Wade. Deeper in the corner they go to Jans. Jans has it. 14 on the shot clock to Carahan. She'll drive the left side of the lane and gets one off the window for two. Rojan Carahan. That's her first basket of the game, the 5'10 senior out of Istanbul, Turkey. Paige Holmes has it for the Bulldogs. Now they'll go over on the left side. In they go. Now they kick it back out. Holmes has it in the corner, drives, gets held up, goes inside for Cooper, who gets one off the window for two. Britt Cooper with the basket.
And Coach Lewis not very happy there that she thought Bulldogs got away with the travel there, and that's something you hate as a coach. Referee missed the travel, and they get 2 points on you.
Now a turnover as that press forced an errant pass. And quickly the Bulldogs get it back. A bunch of substitutes into the game as Lamy comes back in for Western. Savannah Bignell out there for the first time. We also see Shannon Wooster, out of 5'6" sophomore out of Missoula, Montana, in for the first time today. Out front, King. Now they'll go into the corner, shooting up the Three-pointer is Savannah Bignell from deep in that left corner, and it's good. Another timeout here for Dickinson State. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take one as well, with Western leading it 18-6. Back in 30. They look pretty tough.
Huh?
They look pretty tough.
Yeah.
UM Western with a commanding 18-6 lead, 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. And by my count, Western is 3 of 4 from beyond the arc against this defense of Dickinson State, Bob. And now they've got the press on defensively here for Western.
Yeah, Western women have always shot well in this gym. Maybe they practice too much here. I don't know.
Inside, here's McClanahan as they beat the press. She gets trapped under the basket, and it will be a foul called on the floor as she's tangled up with Darby Shy, the 6-foot senior out of Malta, Montana. So that'll be her first team foul of the game on Western. Dickinson inbounds from the left baseline. Turning around is McClanahan. Her shot partially altered. Turns into a pass to Carahan, who lays it in for two. Not what they were trying to do, but it works nonetheless. And it's 18-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. On the right side, Shannon Wooster with the basketball. She'll give it to Bignell. Bignell looking, gives to Anderson deep in the right corner. Try to get it inside. Instead, a pass is going to be errantly thrown over the head of Wooster and out of bounds. Not hard to throw one too high for her, standing at 5'6".
Rare turnover for the Bulldogs here in this first period.
Dickinson gets it in. Carahan will drive the ball down the floor for the Blue Hawks. They'll bounce it forward into the waiting arms of Helmick. On the right side, Larson with the basketball. Western in that 2-3 zone look here. On the left side, Larson has it back after some passes on the perimeter. Gives to McClanahan, high post. And her jumper from the foul line is good for two. She has a quick 4 points. It's 18-10. Dickinson on a little run to get themselves back within single digits. On the right side, King with the basketball. They'll give it out front to Bignell. On the left-hand side, Wooster back to Bignell. Now King on the wing with 15 to shoot. Gives to the right corner for Anderson, who misses on a three. Rebound goes to the Blue Hawks. Quickly down the floor they go to Wade. Wade out front, Carahan with it now. She bounces to the baseline. Nice backdoor pass. Gets the shot to fall, does Ashley Larson, and she'll go to the line for an and one.
A nice penetration, like you said. They got a chance to get this back to within 5.
Basket's good. Bulldogs number 44, Darby Shy.
They call that one on Shy. That's her second personal foul, and we will see Larson go to the line now to shoot an and one. Lamy comes back in for Western. Larson at the line. Gets the free throw to fall. And it's 18-13. Western's lead is down to 5. 3:24 to go in the first quarter. Bouncing high, here's Lamy with it. Now it goes to the right-hand side for Holmes. Down low in the corner, they get it. Now they'll kick it out. Three-pointer on the way for Wooster. No good off the back iron. Rebound tracked down by Lamy, then lost out of bounds. So the Blue Hawks will get it back, and you have to admire Dickinson for regaining their composure and getting themselves back in this basketball game. They pass the ball down the floor. The ball's tipped away and stolen by Lamy. She's racing the other way, takes it to the rack. Can't convert the lay-in, but she's fouled and will go to the line for two. I think they're going to get Carahan with this one. It will be her second personal foul, and it will send Sierra Lamy to the line to shoot two. Lamy having herself an outstanding season, 11 points per game, 6 rebounds. She's a senior from from Wise River. Went to high school there in Dillon at Beaverhead County High School. Makes her first free throw. Now gets ready for another. It's up and that one's good. Now the clock will stop here for a second as we get some substitutes into the game. Coming in for the first time is Danielle Wallace, the freshman out of Haber. Also, McClenahan back in after a short rest. Throw it into the center of the floor. Another steal by Lamy. That's the second time she's gotten a steal in the press. Now she has it on the right wing. She'll fire up a three-pointer. That one's good. Sierra Lamy playing a little 1-on-5 right now. She's got 5 points in the game, and now another steal by Western in transition. Lamy has it on the left block. They'll give it back. Now they'll bounce it inside into the hands of Shy. She'll kick it out. Bignell for three, no good. Shy clears the board. Her layup is up and good for two. So just like that, Western has it back out to double digits with a 25-13 lead. Between the circles is Larson. Looking to re-engage this Dickinson State offense after a couple of untimely turnovers on 3 straight possessions. Up top with the basketball is Wade. Wade throws a errant pass. It's picked off and stolen. Quickly down the floor comes Western. The lay-in too strong for Wooster. It's rebounded, however, by Bignell. Back down low they go, and the reverse lay-in is up and good for Shy. Darby Shy, an outstanding prepster from Malta. The senior here for UM Western. Makes it a 27-13 lead for the Bulldogs. Now another steal in transition. Lamy's gotten 3 of those now. And out front, she has it for her teammate, Savannah Bignell. Bounce it on the right wing. Hand it off, three-pointer on the way, and that one's good. A triple for Paige Holmes. And another 3 in this game. That's now 6 in this first quarter for UM Western. They lead 30-13, and in transition, another turnover as Dickinson loses it out of bounds at the timeline. And with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go in the quarter, Western has it back. Right now, a 12-0 run going here for Montana Western. Here's Bignell at the top of the circle. Under a minute to play in the quarter. She looks right, has it there. A high screen, works into the lane, kicks out to Wooster. Now to Holmes, she'll drive. On the right baseline, the jumper on the way and good for Britt Cooper. She has 4 points in the contest. 32-13 Western, nearing half a minute to play in this first quarter. Can't ask for a much better quarter than this for the Bulldogs. And now a 10-second violation against that press. Another turnover for Dickinson State. That's got to be 6 or 7 now turnovers against that Western press. Lamy sets to inbound. A lot of coaches would be happy with this point total for a half. 32 points here for Western. On pace for 128. In the right corner, driving in is Bignell. She gets blocked along the baseline, and they're going to call that foul on Larson. That is her first. We'll see an inbound play here coming for Bignell. 20.7 seconds to go in this first quarter. The other 2 teams in this tournament, of course, the home team, Rocky Mountain College. They'll play tonight against the King's University out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Now a reverse lay-in, nice feed down low, and Britt Cooper with a beautiful looking reverse lay-in gets her 5th and 6th points of the afternoon. Now the Blue Hawks have it back, trailing by 21 points. Here's a transition 3 for Larson, and that'll count right at the buzzer. Ashley Larson with a little bit of good news for Dickinson State heading into the timeout. So at the end of one quarter, it is Montana Western 34 and Dickinson State 16. We'll be back in 1 minute. Getting ready to start the second quarter. Tyler Wilch and Bob Ritterott welcoming our friends on listening in on KDBM in Dillon. So pleased to have you with us this afternoon. The UM Western ladies, or women's basketball team rather, 34-16 right now over Dickinson State in the opening game of the Green and Gold Classic here, hosted on the campus of Rocky Mountain College in Billings. Dickinson State comes back out onto the floor. They're dressed in their navy uniforms with those silver numbers. Western dressed in white this afternoon with black numbers trimmed in red. Blue Hawks have it, moving from left to right. Now in the half court. At the top of the circle, they have the basketball for Brooke Jans. Jans to Larson. Now over on the left wing, Natalie Hafer in for the first time today, the sophomore out of Rapid City, South Dakota. She'll drive down to that left corner. Now gives it back out. 10 seconds to shoot here. McClenahan, a skip pass to Larson in the corner. Dribbles once, now gives out front. They'll drive into the corner. Three-pointer on the way, and that one will be short for Hafer. The ball rebounded by Western, but then a quick tie-up. Nice play there by Brooke Jans to come in and tie up the basketball. Possession arrow will give it to the Bulldogs, but a good hustle play there for Dickinson State. So Ashley Larson got a three-pointer for Dickinson right before the buzzer, sending us here to this second quarter. Larson with it, or rather Lamey with it, bounces down low. They'll give it out for King. King penetrates, bounces into the center of the lane, and then losing it off of the fingertips of Britt Cooper and out of bounds. So the turnover back to Dickinson State. Now they'll kick it out left side into the hands of Hafer. Hafer down low, feeds McClenahan, who gets one off the window for two. Kelly McClenahan, 6 points on the afternoon. King with it now. Western's lead is 16 points. Down low, a foul going to be called as King went to the rack. She'll get a couple of free throws here. See who they whistle this one on. It goes against McClenahan, so the post doing a little damage down low. That's her second. And it'll send King to the line. Brianna King, she's made one free throw today. So King comes into this game averaging nearly 21 points per game. At the free throw line this year, 36 of 44 for 82%. Been an outstanding start to her senior season. First free throw is good. Makes them both. She's perfect 3 of 3 here today. Oh, she missed the first one.
And King gets a steal and puts that one in as well.
And what an afternoon she's having. 6 points now from the field. From two-point land, I should say. She's got 2 3-pointers in the game. 37-18. Western in front of Dickinson. In the left-hand corner, they have it. Now they'll get it out front into the hands of Hafer. She'll skip it back over to the left side for Jans. Down low they go. Carahan tries the lay-in. It's no good. Rebounded by Britt Cooper. Cooper down the floor to King. King out front, Anderson. Anderson throws to the corner. Getting around her defender is Holmes. Kick out, King. Another extra pass up top for Anderson. She drives. Nice weak side pass for Holmes, who lays it in for 2. Paige Holmes with 5 points. What a feed there from Anderson. Probably could have taken it up herself, but found the open man.
And the Bulldogs stretch it out to a 21-point lead here. 7:41 to go here in the first half.
Down low with the basketball. The turnaround is up and good for Jans. Her first basket of the game. Jans had a big tournament right before Christmas for Dickinson State and their couple of wins in California, the tournament they played in. Up top, Holmes with the basketball. She'll fire a 3. It's no good off the front iron. Rebounded by Carahan. Carahan drives. Now on the right side with the basketball is Larson. Skips it over on the left side. Now down in the corner they go. Back out front for Hafer. On the left wing, 10 seconds to shoot. Driving in. No good is Jan. She gets her own rebound. Now kicks it out on the left elbow. Here's McClenahan for the 2-point basket. She has 8. Having herself a pretty big day. 39-22, Western in front. 6:40 to go in the first half. Here's Lamey. Has a high dribble and gets it stripped away by Rojan Carahan. On the left side now, Dickinson with the basketball. They give it back to Carahan. She drives, gets by Lamy and by Cooper, and is fouled on her way to the basket. They're going to call that one on Cooper. It's the first on Cooper, and it will send Carahan to the line for two. Roshan Carahan, the team's leading scorers this year. She's had a big season. So far this year, she's 18 of 28 from the foul line. Free throw up, and that one is good.
Checking in for the Bulldogs, number 44, Irving Shy. Checking in for the Blue Hawks,
Shy checks back in for Western.
number 32, Danielle Walsh.
Pantoja will check in for Dickinson State. Her first appearance of the day, the junior out of Caldwell, Idaho. Second one misses for Carahan. So she goes 1 of 2 from the stripe on that attempt. And it's 39-23. UM Western. On the left side, Anderson drives to the foul line, takes the long jumper. It's no good. Carahan with the rebound, and she'll track it from left to right for Dickinson State. Stops at the top of the circle, goes on the right side for Larson. Now up front for Jans. Pantoja will kick it back out front. Larson. Pantoja on the wing. 13 to shoot. Here's Larson with it on the wing. She'll drive, tries one off the glass, no good. Rebound loose on the floor and picked up by UM Western as Shy comes up with it. Quickly in transition, they go to Anderson, deep in the left corner for 3, and it's good. Tori Anderson, her first three-point basket of the game. She has 5 points. It's 42-23 in favor of Montana Western. 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Or second quarter, I beg your pardon. Here's Carahan in the paint, kicks out. Pantoja, they quickly rotate it to the left side. Jans, a three-pointer, and drills that one. Brooke Jans, just the second three-pointer of the game so far for Dickinson State. Meanwhile, Western lighting them up from long range on the other end. Bulldogs with the basketball. Here's Anderson on the wing, a step back NBA three. That one's no good. Rebound lost out of bounds. That was touched by Dickinson State. No, it was touched by Western, they say last. So Dickinson will get it back. Cooper comes back into the game to relieve Lamy, and we're going to step aside for a quick timeout. 42-26 the score. Montana Western in front with 4:53 to go in the second quarter. We're back in 1 minute. On the campus of Rocky Mountain College, Tyler Wilchin and Bob Ritterott with you. 42-26 lead for Montana Western over Dickinson State in this opening game of the 2018 Green and Gold Classic. I'm going to be able to say 2018 for much longer. Western looking impressive here this afternoon.
They're living up to that undefeated record.
I guess so. It's showing why they're a top 10 team in the country right now in the NAIA. Out front, Pantoja for 3. She knocks one down from beyond the arc. Pantoja with the basket. And that makes it a 42-29 lead for UM Western now. Cooper with it to King. Now on the right wing, here's Anderson, back out front, King, 14 to shoot. She'll step back for a 3. That one hangs on the rim and then falls. Brianna King. She has 3 trays in this game and now 15 points in the contest. Pantoja out front, Now they'll go to the left corner. Here's Jans with the basketball. She'll drive, kicks it back out. Pantoa on the right wing. She'll fire up a three. That one's good. Celeste Pantoa.
Long two-pointer.
They call it a two. And the Bulldogs are going to take a timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here, Bob. And you have to wonder why Pantoa wasn't in this game earlier. She's been a little spark off the bench here for Dickinson State.
Yeah, definitely has. Just too many weapons for the Bulldogs. So they got so many shooters. And looking back that first quarter, they shot 73% from the floor, and it's going to be pretty hard to beat somebody when you shoot that kind of field goal percentage and 63% from the three-point line. And plus that, they're 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So pretty good shooting exhibition here by the Bulldogs.
And the thing I love, I think the reason that shooting percentage is so high, not afraid to make that extra pass to find an open player, and very unselfish basketball, and it pays. Out front, Cooper bounces down low. The ball lost out of bounds by Shy. And we will see it go back to Dickinson State. Trails this game by 14 points, 45-31. Nearing 3.5 to play in this first half. Out front with the basketball, a new entrant into the game as Verplugen out of Havre, Montana, has checked into the game. Pantoa on the left side, looking for Verplugen in the post. Instead drives, kicks it back out. Here's Jans working to the post, and a foul going to be whistled against Shy, and it'll get Jans to the line to shoot two. Darby Shy picks up her third. And now we will see Brooke Jans go to the line to shoot a couple. And the first is up and good.
Checking in for the Bulldogs, number 25, Shannon Wooster, and number 40, Savannah Bignell.
Jans, just a freshman out of Sturgis, South Dakota. Have to think she's got a pretty high ceiling. They run a lot of their offense through her. Second one up and good. (45-33) in favor of UM Western. On the right side, Holmes for three, and she connects. Why not? Paige Holmes with her second three-pointer of the game. Western has just been lights out from outside. What did they shoot in that first half from beyond the arc?
That first period was 62%.
Yeah, you got to be close
I don't
to
know.
that here.
I honestly think, Tyler, if I put a Western uniform on and went out and shot a three, I think it'd go in.
You might be right. Danielle Wallace going to go to the line as they call a foul on Savannah Bignell, who just checked in during that last timeout, or during those last free throws. So Wallace will go to the line. And the first is up and good. Now we see another substitute come into the game as Riley Helmick checks back in for Dickinson State, relieving Jans. Now Wallace turns her attention back to the foul line. And that one hammers home for Danielle Wallace, so she's perfect on that trip to the line. 48-35 lead here for Western. Bulldogs with the ball back. Here's King at the top of the circle. She'll give it off to Bignell. To the right side for Holmes. Declines a screen, now goes to the right baseline. Kicks out. King, a three-pointer, waved off on a travel. Drug that foot a little bit as she tried to plant. She made the three-pointer, but it's waved off on the travel. It's about the only thing slowing down the Bulldogs right now. On the right side, Pantoa does the dribble between the legs, now goes down in the corner for Larson. Larson works it outside, gives between the circles, now on the left wing. Out front to Pantoa, to the left, into the arms of Helmick. She'll drive up, 8 seconds to shoot. A screen set, Larson goes to the right, takes the step around on King. High off the glass, no good, rebound loose on the floor. Pantoa crashed from the weak side, nearly got the board. And then the Blue Hawks lose it out of bounds on the baseline. I'm impressed with Celeste Pantoa. She's kind of all over the floor out there for
yeah, she is.
the Blue Hawks.
A lot of hustle, kind of got her nose for the basketball, knows where to go. And
junior out of Caldwell, Idaho. Have to wonder if the College of Idaho might have missed on a recruiting opportunity locally. Here's
King missed.
Missed a three-pointer off the front iron. The rebound loose on the floor. Bignell had it, but then stepped on the baseline. And the Bulldogs will give it back to Dickinson State. Sierra Lamy checks back into the game, as does Britt Cooper for Montana Western. And now Dickinson throws it in. Riley Verplugen with the basketball. Former Havre Blue Pony has it on the right side of the floor now. Shotguns it to the left side for Pantoa. She'll go down low. Now they'll kick it out for Plugen just inside the arc for three. No good. And the rebound comes off to King. She's working hard the other way. Bulldogs had numbers for a moment. Now they throw to the corner. Slicing in and getting one off the window for two is Shannon Wooster. Wooster with her first basket of the game. She has 2 points. And nearing a minute to play in this first half. Western's lead is 15. Deep in the corner, a three-pointer up, rattles in and out, no good for Helmick. Board comes off to the Bulldogs. Bignell with it. She drives to the foul line. Kicks into the corner for Lamy. Lamy drives back out to King. King into the lane. Nice step around move on Larson and gets one off the window for two. Brianna King having an outstanding day. Now with 17 points. Or actually make that 19 points in this first half. Now a tie-up at half court. Wooster comes away with the basketball and then glides in for an easy lay-in. This press and transition defense is outstanding for Western. Just another good thing they've done today.
I think most of it's their defense has definitely led to their offense in this thing, Tyler. You talked about being unselfish, making that extra pass, but defensively, they've just controlled the tempo of the game as the Blue Hawks get two more on the board.
Pantoa with another basket, 54-37. 1 second to go. Here's King at the buzzer for three, and of course it connects. She hits the three from the left wing, Brianna King. 4 3-pointers in the first half, and that extends Western's lead to 20 points as we hit halftime. 57-37 over Dickinson State. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to make it a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back with the halftime show in a moment. We appreciate it. Welcome back to Billings, everyone. Tyler Wilch and Bob Ritter out with you. We're at halftime of the Green and Gold Classic here from Rocky Mountain College. Montana Western with a 57-37 lead at halftime here of this opener game. And we'll go ahead and turn it over to Bob with first half stats.
All right, first of all, scoring, for Dickinson State, it is Wade with 2 points, Larson with 6, Jantz with 7, Carahan with 5, and McClanahan with 8 points. Pantoja, is that how you say that?
Pantoja, yeah.
Pantoja, kind of, you talked about it, Tyler came in, gave some spark. She had 7 points in that first half, and Wallace with 2 points. They had 11 turnovers, only 9 rebounds in that first half, 2 offensive and 7 defensive rebounds, and this is kind of amazing. I mean, we talk about the field goal shooting of Western, but Dickinson shot 58% from the floor in that first half, and they're trailing by 20 points here. I guess I haven't got enough shots up, I guess. Huh?
I guess you're right. Probably accounts for why there's not so many rebounds either.
Yeah, definitely. 14 of 24, though. Very good shooting percentage, 58%. They are 50% from the three-point line, 3 of 6, and they are 6 of 7 from the charity line. So, Dickinson shooting the ball very well here in the first half. Just battling to get the ball across the timeline a little bit, I think, against this full court pressure. And when they do get it across, they're rushed to, because their shot clock is down to in the teens already by the time they get across. For the Battlemen Bears, for the Bulldogs. Oh, boy, didn't hear me say that.
Yeah, I
know. Britt Cooper has 6 points in the first half. Lamy with 5 points. Holmes with 8 points. Brianna King leading all scorers with 22 points here in the first half. She is won the Player of the Week in the Frontier Conference for the second time this season, and you can see why. It is Anderson with 5 points, Worcester with 4, Bignell with 3, and Darby Shy with 4 points. They only have 5 turnovers in that first half. They shot 68% from the floor, 60% from the three-point line, and they are 4 or 5 from the charity stripe for 80%, and they had 12 rebounds, 3 offensive and 9 defensive rebounds. And, when you shoot 68, 69% from the floor, there's not a lot of offensive rebounds to be had.
No, there weren't too many misses in this game on either end.
No, really. Some points off of turnovers. This is huge, though. 25 points for Montana Western off of turnovers to 7 for Dickinson State. As far as the other stats, they're pretty well even. 14 points in the paint for each. Second chance points 4, and Western outscoring them in the bench 11-9. But the big difference is that, as I said, right there towards the end, the defense is creating the offense, and that is really shows up in that points off of turnovers.
I felt like early on Dickinson wasn't in the right defense. They were playing that zone defense, and Western was hitting everything. Dickinson adjusted a little bit. It got it back down to about 5 points there at one point, Bob. But then that's when the turnovers started to pile up for Dickinson State, and Western was able to extend that lead back out.
Well, there's about a minute left in that first half, too, Tyler, and Dickinson missed a long 3 and a quarter from the corner, and I think that would have cut it down into single digits, or maybe even down to 8 points at that time. In 57 seconds, they put another 13 on the board.
Yeah, and that press defense was very, very good for Western. In fact, at one point there, they got 3 steals in a row out of that press, and you do that, and these games get out of hand quickly.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just you can see why Western coming in here undefeated on the season, and Brianna King, we talked about her as the game was getting started. She's definitely the premier player in the Frontier Conference, and it's going to be fun to watch her. We'll get to see her a few times here in the conference play, and then, of course, I'm thinking that's probably pretty much a guarantee we're going to see them in that national tournament at the Metra coming up in March.
Yeah, they keep playing the way they are, and I tell you what, the battle between them and Rocky Mountain College this year could be a fun one to watch. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have our thoughts as we turn our attention to the second half. At halftime, Montana Western leading Dickinson State 57-37. We'll be back in 3 minutes. We are back here at the half. Montana Western leading Dickinson State 57-37 here in the opening game of the 2018 Green and Gold Classic here from Rocky Mountain College. Tyler Wilchin and Bob Ritterott with you. And Bob, I always love this tournament. It's kind of that primer as we get ready to turn our attention to conference play, starting for all these schools next week. We've got the two Western teams taking on Dickinson State here in the afternoon games. Then tonight, Rocky Mountain College women will take on King's University out of Canada at 5:30. Then the men will take on the Kings as well at 7:30. And Bob, you're a former coach, I know. These types of tournaments at this time of the year, as you get primed for conference play, how important are these games?
Well, I think they're real important. Number one, most of these kids got a little bit of a break. At Christmas, got to go home and spend some time, and that you kind of get to come back and get not necessarily in the gym practicing playing against each other, but you get to play against somebody else, and I think that's huge. As you said, coming up conference play starting January 3rd, we'll host Carroll here, and then I believe we go to Tech on Saturday. But I think they're huge. Just for the kids to get on the floor and play against somebody else and not coming in here and practicing and beating up each other, that's big. Probably the biggest thing. And we did have two conference games, Tyler, early in December there. That's kind of the new thing. They sneak a couple in about the middle of December on us, and both Rocky and Western both 2-0 on conference play thus far. So I just think it's a great thing, a good thing for Billings, and I think this is probably the best weather. It might not be real nice outside, but I remember about 2 or 3 years ago there were two buses stuck out here, and they almost slid into each other. So it's good weather, and hopefully we get some good crowds to come out here and watch this, because it's going to be some pretty good basketball.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, remember last year, Bob, we got all kinds of snow during this tournament. The roads were absolutely terrible. Well, we're going to take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll get the second half for you. Montana Western and Dickinson State both out here warming up for the second half. Bulldogs lead it by 20 at the break. We're back in 2 minutes. Getting ready to start the second half here as Montana Western leads the game 57-37. Tyler Wilchin, Bob Ritterott with you. We'd like to thank those of you watching on the Rocky Mountain College YouTube channel and those listening along on KDBM out of Dillon, Montana. Pleased to have you with us here this afternoon. Dickinson with the basketball, dressed in navy, working from right to left to start this second half. Larson has it at the top of the circle. She'll give it up to Pantoja, who gets the second half start. She'll throw it on the wing, back to Larson. Airballs the three-pointer, rebounded by Lamy from Montana Western. Bulldogs dressed in white, black numbers, trimmed in red. Now a steal. Pantoa creating some offense from defense. Drives, dishes off. Larson off the window for 2.
Nice transition there. A good way for Dickinson to get started here.
Trying to make this a contest. King drives, kicks to the corner. Has it for Holmes. Holmes out of Seeley Lake, Montana. She'll give it off to King. Bet you there's some snow in Seeley Lake right now, Bob. On the right side, Lamy with the basketball. She'll drive to the foul line. Dumps down low for Cooper. Back out, Holmes. 6 seconds to shoot. Off balance, 3 is no good, and Larson's there for the board. Larson, McClenahan, Jans, Pantoa, and Carahan on the floor now for Dickinson State to start this second half. Pantoa drives to the elbow, gives it in the corner. Now back out they go to Larson. McClenahan at the foul line, 14 to shoot, splits 2 defenders, high off the window, and a weak side rebound there for Holmes. Holmes out to King. Those two are joined out there by Cooper, Lamy, and Anderson. Anderson has it in the right corner. Back out front, Lamy, pump fakes, now drives into the lane past McClenahan and lays it in for a quick 2.
Nice move by Lamy there. Used her length and stretched out there and put up a scoop shot.
She's been a sneaky player for Dickinson State this year. Lamy averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds. Had a couple of big games in the national tournament for them last year. Pantoa with a 3. It's no good. Weak side rebound is there for Carahan, who takes the turnaround and lays it in for 2. Roshan Carahan with 6 points from the floor. Adds a free throw to that mix as well. Here's Cooper on the left wing for King. She'll drive. Gets the lay-in to fall. What a good handle there for King.
Miranda now with probably 24. I think that's her first points here, and they're going to have a blocking foul on King.
Yeah, a little overzealous on that play, and King will pick up her first. And she's still down on the floor, so they're going to call out the trainer and Coach Woolley. The two teams will go to their benches for a moment as they check on King. She's up and nodding her head. I think she's okay. Maybe just got a little wind knocked out of her.
I think they might have butted heads, actually. I think kind of looked to me like it was awful close there.
Well, she seems like she's okay. She's going to go to the bench for a moment as Bignell has checked in to replace her momentarily. Savannah Bignell out of Avon, Montana. Another place that's probably seen a little bit of snow the last couple days.
Yep. Been a lot of Bignell girls play here at Western.
Yep. A few Bignell boys played football around the state.
Yep.
It's a very athletic family. Carhan with the basketball goes left side to Pantoa. She tangles up with Bignell, who strips the ball away for the steal. She'll dribble down the floor. They give on the right side, trying the three-pointer up, and good is Tori Anderson. It's her second 3 of the game. She has 8 points, and it's a 64-41 Montana Western lead. Driving, now they'll dish to the left side. McClenahan off the window for 2. Kelly McClenahan with 10 points.
You know, Dickinson shows signs of doing some good things, making some nice passes on the penetration and making good passes off that penetration for 2 points, but just can't get a stop at the other end.
In that right corner, the ball loose. Lamy tries to pick it up, has it stripped away by Jans. Jans on the floor with the basketball now. And a tie-up going to be called as Bignell came in to mix it up. And the possession arrow will keep it with Montana Western. You have to admire Dickinson State. This would have been a very easy game to just kind of fade away and rest up for your next game, but they've shown tenacity to keep fighting to get back in this game.
Yeah, they've been down several times big here, but you know, up there in the first period, they got it back to single digits, and little shot clock discussion here.
Looks like they got it set now.
Went from 30 to 29.
Bignell with the basketball, hands it off to Holmes. Now Anderson. They'll wrap it around to the left for Lamy. Out front, Cooper with the basketball. Nice pass through the zone to the sprinting Bignell, who lays it in for 2. What vision.
Yeah, nice little give and go.
Carahan in front of Bignell. on the dribble. Gives out to Larson on the right. On the wing, they have it into the hands of Wade. 5 seconds to shoot. Here's Larson on the wing. Nice feed inside. McClenahan has her shot blocked at the end of the shot clock, and that'll be a violation, giving it back to Western. 66-43, Bulldogs in front of Dickinson State. 5:53 to go in the third quarter. They'll shotgun it over to the left side for Anderson. Anderson to Lamy. Back out front to Cooper. Now they go on the wing. Bounce it to the high post for Big Nell. Back out. Lamy, a three-point try. That one off the iron and no good. Rebounded by McClenahan. Carahan with it the other way. She'll stop on the wing. Now gives it off. Back out front they go. 15 seconds to shoot. To the post. Here with it is Jans. Jans back out. McClenahan a three. No good. Rebounded by Anderson. We'll get it down the floor. Here's Holmes. Gets tied up and has the ball stripped away by Lacey Wade. Carahan to Larson on that right wing. Under 5 minutes to play in the quarter. And a 23-point lead here for Western. Now on the drive, they're going to whistle it off and say a 3-second violation. In the key there for McClenahan. And we have a media timeout. So we'll step aside. 4:44 to play in the third quarter. Western leads it 66-43. We're back in 1 minute. At the Fortin Education Center, 66-43 lead here for Montana Western over Dickinson State. 4:44 to go in this third quarter. And Montana Western back out on the floor. They've quieted down here just a little bit, getting some subs into the action. As for the first time today, we will see Mesa King come into the game, the 6'1 freshman out of Big Timber, Montana. She's a redshirt. Also back out there, Shannon Wooster. Here's Lamy driving. King back out there after taking a breather after she butted heads with one of the defenders. Mesa King with the basketball. She drives right. Now back out front. They go on the right side. Lamy driving to the basket. Has her shot blocked from behind by McClenahan. Into the hands of Carahan. Carahan driving. Takes one off the window. No good. Rebounded by Brianna King. Quickly sprinting the other way. Steps around two defenders, tries the lay-in too strong. Rebound loose and McClenahan comes away with it. And now loose ball in transition goes off of the foot of Larson. And Montana Western will inbound in front of Coach Woolley and the bench. Most coaches age prematurely, but Coach Woolley out there looking like maybe a little younger than he was last year. No stress on his face.
I think it might be maybe they're playing better.
Could be.
That big zero in the loss column helps that a lot, believe me. I used to have hair.
Now an off-balance three-point attempt goes awry, and the rebound comes off to Dickinson State. They throw it out front in between the circles. Driving in is Wade. Knocks down her defender, and they're going to call a charge as Wade got that shoulder Right into Big Nell. Good job for Big Nell to stand pat.
Yeah,
and that'll be a turnover.
Did a good job staying in there, taking that charge.
Wooster with the basketball. Shannon Wooster out of Missoula, Montana. It's a high screen from King. Now throws it out on the right side. Lamy off the mark to the right on that three-point try. Rebounded by Big Nell, who lays it in for 2. Savannah Bignell with 7 points in the contest, and now a 5-second violation as Dickinson couldn't get it in fast enough. That'll give it right back to Western.
Yeah, those are the kind of turnovers that really hurt us. We're going to have a media timeout here, Tyler. 3:08 to go, 68-43. Western on top of Dickinson. Back in a minute.
.308 left to play in the third quarter. Montana Western in front of Dickinson, 68-43. And Dickinson still in the huddle as they're getting some last-second advice from Liz Lewis, their head coach. She was an assistant coach up at MSU Northern after her playing days here at Rocky Mountain College, and then went to Miles Community College before being elevated a couple of years ago to Dickinson State's head coaching position. She's done a pretty good job there with the Blue Hawks. And her team kind of models after her, the way they keep fighting, even though they're up against a pretty good opponent here in Montana Western. Now a scramble for the basketball down low. King tries to take it up. She's fouled. And that will be 2 free throws. And unfortunately, they're going to get McClenahan with that one. That's her third.
Hey, you talk about Liz. I think she was playing, I believe, the first year that I did Rocky women basketball. So that's been a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a few years now. First free throw up, and that one finds the bottom of the net for Mesa King.
She gets in the scoring column. See the entire Big Timber girls basketball team here to watch the games.
Yeah, you gotta love
nice
that.
support.
And I laugh because I look at them, they're across the way from us. They've all got their notebooks. It looks like they're studying their own plays right now. Now on the other end, a foul going to be called against Savannah Bignell. Driving in was Jans. And Jans will go to the line for 2. Brooke Jans will go to the line where she's perfect so far on the oh no, they say that it was before the shot. So no free throws, and now a three-pointer up and good. And that goes for Pentoa, her second three-pointer of the game. 70-46, Montana Western. Lamy on the other end driving in, a little off balance, but she's going to go to the line for 2. Missed the lay-in, but they're going to call the foul here as they get that one against Carahan, her third. A little foul trouble now starting to mount up here for Dickinson State. Carahan and McClenahan with 3 points or 3 fouls each, and neither one of them has been on the bench much in this game. And we'll see Lamy go to the line to shoot 2. Sierra Lamy, she's 2 for 2 in the game so far. First free throw is good.
Checking in for the Bulldogs, number 5, Paige Holmes, and number 30.
Holmes checks back in, and as does Tori Anderson. Brianna King will come out of the game, and Bignell comes out as well. Next free throw up and good for Sierra Lamy. 4 of 4 from the line. 9 points in the game, nearing her season average of 11. 72-46. Western with the lead, and now another steal. Here comes Paige Holmes slicing around Carahan to the rack, misses on the lay-in. King there for the rebound. King will step around with a hook shot and gets that one off the window for 2.
Big confidence booster for the freshman.
And with a large cheering section here, she gets the applause. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. .15 on the shot clock. Larson holds between the circles. Now gives to the foul line for Carahan. She waits for Pantoa to get around her to clear out that right side. Takes it to the rack. Gets the shot and will go to the line for an and one. Nice move there to clear the side of the floor, and they're going to call the foul against Tori Anderson, her first. And we'll see Carahan go to the line.
Both teams with 3 team fouls here with 1:47 to go in the third period.
Been a pretty clean game from the foul standpoint. A lot of turnovers in that first half, but that's cleaned up a little bit here in the second. Free throw no good for Carahan. She's 1 of 3 from the charity stripe today. Probably something that the coach will circle on the stat sheet on the bus ride home.
Yeah.
Here's King at the foul line. She'll throw it to the right side for Anderson. Anderson into the lane for Western. Shot on the way is good from just inside the foul line. Tori Anderson.
Nice jump shot by Tori Anderson. Good elevation here. Don't see many girls with that good a lift and that good a form with the jump shot.
Now Holmes steps in front of a pass, gets the steal, and coasts in for the easy layup. Paige Holmes now with 10 points in the game.
Western's biggest lead of the night. They're at 30 points, 78-48 with a minute to go here in the third.
Driving in is Carahan. She'll step around a defender, can't convert the lay-in, but a foul called as they're going to get Tori Anderson with another one. And Carahan will go to the line. She's 1 of 3 this afternoon. Jim quiets down. Carahan, shot up and good. Carahan out of Istanbul, Turkey. She's a senior. Second free throw up, and that one's good. Western leads at 78-50, under a minute to play in the third quarter. Out front, Sierra Lamy with the basketball. Gives to the high post for Mesa King. Out to Lamy, three-pointer up and good. Sierra Lamy drills that one. Her second three-pointer of the game. And she has done some damage now with 12 points in the contest. On the other end, the basketball sails out of bounds. Mishandled by Larson. And the Bulldogs will get it back after another Dickinson State turnover.
Yeah, that's those unforced ones are really tough to deal with.
Wooster out front to King, back to Wooster on the right side. High screen from King, drives in, Wooster off the glass, no good. King bats the rebound, out of bounds. It'll like the freshman getting in there and trying to muscle. Almost got that one. 23 seconds to go to the end of the third quarter. Western's lead is 31. Now Pantoa with the basketball. She's been a little quiet over the last few minutes. She gets bumped by Holmes. That'll be the fourth on Western. So that should be free throws here.
You're shooting 2.
So Pantoa goes to the line to shoot 2. Celeste Pantoa, the 5'8 junior out of Caldwell, Idaho. First free throw misses left. And she'll get one more. Second one on the way, and that one's good. So she gets 1 out of 2 from the trip. Under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Anderson on the drive, takes the long jumper. It's short off the front iron, and that's how we will end the quarter. 81-51, Montana Western in front of Dickinson State. We'll be back in 1 minute. Back here getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Montana Western in front of Dickinson State, 81-51. Tyler Wilch and Bob Ritterott with you. I'd like to thank all of those watching on YouTube as well as our listeners in Dillon on KDBM radio. Always love our friends over in Dillon. And as we look at this, Montana Western still shooting over 60%, 62% to be specific, from the field in this game. 58% from long range, where they're shooting at a pretty good clip. 9 out of 15 in the first half, 2 out of 4 from beyond the arc in the second half. Dickinson State with the basketball. 19 turnovers in the game for the Blue Hawks. Pantoa with it. She'll throw it up top. Now has it back on the left wing. 9 to shoot, takes the 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Montana Western as Cooper comes away with it. Gives it off for Brianna King. Now they'll rotate to Wooster on the left side. Back up front to Shy. Darby Shy checked back in during that last timeout. King with the step back 3. Up and no good. Rebounded by McClanahan. She'll give it off for Carahan. Now dribbling between the circles. Hands it off into the hands of Larson. Larson drives right. Goes around a screen, kicks it back over to the left side. Now they'll give to Carahan, who works in. Might have got away with a travel there. And takes the hook shot, no good. Rebounded by Montana Western. And up front, Wooster with the basketball. Gets the call from the sidelines on which offense to run. Goes right, hands it off for King. King into the lane. Throws it out in the corner for Holmes. Holmes drives in, takes one off the window, and good for 2. Paige Holmes with the basket. She has 14 in the game. Pretty quiet 14.
Yes.
Now a tie-up with Holmes and Pantoa. The ball knocked away. King comes up with it on another turnover by Dickinson State. Quickly down the floor they go to Wooster, who lays one in for 2.
Looking at the stats, the end of the third period there, Western had 36 points off of turnovers, and I think they've got another 4 since then. So 40 of their 85 points here in the ball game have come off points off of turnovers.
Yeah. Such a good team defensively. Very patient, selfless team on the offensive end. They got all the makings of a pretty special team here. Three-pointer is short for Larson, who goes out of bounds on the air ball, and Western will get it back.
They were just down in Phoenix the same time that Rocky was down there, and beat a couple of pretty good teams. I believe the number 12 and number 15 team in the nation down there, and that's just a great accomplishment to be able to go on the road, a neutral floor like that, and get wins against somebody other than the Frontier Conference.
Yeah. Beat Our Lady of the Lakes and Menlo College, both teams which were here in Billings last March, so you got to feel good.
They'll be back.
If you're a Western fan, yeah, we'll probably see them again. Another lay-in here for Western. It's 87-51 now with 7:19 to go. On the left baseline, the turnaround is up and in for Danielle Wallace, her first field goal of the game.
Nice move in there by Wallace on the reverse.
King drives, has the ball knocked out of her hands by Larson. No, they're going to say that she lost it on her own. Loses it out of bounds and quickly goes back to Dickinson State. A little too much air in the basketball right there. One bounced pretty high. Throw it ahead. Here as they are able to break the press is Dickinson State. Jans with it, gives it out front. Carahan drives to the basket. The underhanded shot no good, but she's fouled. I think they're going to get Wooster with this one. And that will send Carahan to the line to shoot 2. As Wooster picks up her first.
We were talking about that national tournament. We had a meeting here a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, and, probably a pretty good chance all the teams that have been there, maybe 5 new names might show up next year, but it's pretty much the same 32 teams probably going to be, 28 out of those 32 are probably going to be back.
Free throw up and good, so Carahan gets 1 out of the pair. She is 4 of 7 from the charity stripe today. 87-54 Western. Now you could tell watching a lot of those teams. I went to the tournament for the first time last year, Bob, and you tell a few of those programs have it pretty well dialed in what you need to do to get there and how to be successful in that tournament.
Yeah, in the Frontier Conference, I think that we got a good chance of getting 4 more again next year, 4 teams next year, the way it sets right now, hopefully. Kind of tough to see how we all beat each other up in the conference, but Carroll and Western, I think, are pretty well locked in right now unless something drastic could happen, and I think we got a good chance of making. Well, I know we get in anyway, but I think we're going to make it anyway as far as
on merit, not just on location.
Yep, and then you have Providence and LC. Never count Coach Brian Orr and LC out.
So Wooster got a basket for Western, and then a tie-up on the other end. And Western has it back now, and a foul going to be called as Cooper takes it up for 2. And they call the foul on Jans. I beg your pardon, that was Shy that was going up for it, so she'll get a couple of free throws. And Jans picks up her first foul of the game. Darby Shy out of Malta, Montana. Free throw in the queue. That one bricks no good.
But Coach Woolley's got a really good team here. I think that they're going to be tough to beat the Frontier Conference. Somebody might get them at home, but I don't think you're going to beat them in their house for sure this year. And they're going to be tough to beat on the road. Carroll, very good as well. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see when those two teams meet.
Going to be a fun year in women's basketball in the Frontier, that's for sure. 90-54, Western in front. Now a deflection. It'll stay with Dickinson State as one of the Bulldogs got a hand on the basketball. Larson will inbound from the baseline near the left corner. Throw it in. While tipped away from Jans by Wooster. They're going to call Jans with a foul for going over the back. It's her second. That's the second team foul on Dickinson. 5:50 to go here in the basketball game, and a 90-54 lead here for Montana Western.
Well, I heard you say 128 a while ago.
I wasn't too far off, was I?
Well, they keep shooting like that. There's 3 more.
There's another 3 for Wooster. She has 11 in the game, most of those in this second half, and it's 93-54. Now a timeout going to be taken by Liz Lewis and Dickinson State. And it'll stretch to a full, so we're going to step aside. 5:27 to here in Billings, 93-54, Montana Western leading Dickinson State with 5:27 to go. And Dickinson State, after the timeout, comes back to the floor. They've got a couple of new players back in there. Kylie Verplugen, I should say, is back out there. Also Danielle Wallace back into the game. Pantoa back out there as well. She has the ball in this key. Bounces down low to Wallace. She misses short, gets her own rebound, kicks out Verplugen from the foul line. That one hangs on the rim and then falls. Kylie Verplugen with her first basket. (93-56) Western. Out front, Bignell with it to Shy. Shy on the wing. Get it to Bignell. She'll drive, kicks back to Shy on the give and go, and the lay-in's no good, but she's fouled from behind by Pantoa. And we'll go to the line for 2. Celeste Pantoa with her first foul.
personal foul, 2 third.
Shy goes to the line where she's 2 of 2 today.
Darby Shy.
Free throw misses to the right. Now another one up, and that one is good. So Darby Shy gets 1 out of 2 on that pair. Now Pantoa with the basketball. She'll get it across the timeline. Drives right, throws into the corner. Has Jans. Jans will drive it back out on the pass for Pantoa. 10 seconds to shoot on the right. Here's Jans back out front. Larson on the wing, tries to throw it inside. 2 seconds to shoot, ball loose on the floor. And that'll be a shot clock violation.
I believe they're going to say that it went out of bounds off of the.
Oh, you're right.
We'll see. The referees are going to talk here, I think.
There's never a change of possession, so I don't think they can reset the shot clock here. But
I thought maybe they might call a kick ball, actually, but.
Now they got it. There's the shot clock violation. Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. There's about 3 different things that could have happened right there. Choose one and let's move on.
Yep.
Brianna King back into the game. She has the basketball now out in the front court. They'll go on the left-hand side for Wooster. Mesa King with the basketball. Now to Big Nell, down low to Wooster. Nice feed to the corner for Lamy. A three-pointer up and good. Sierra Lamy. Her 3rd triple of the game. It's 97-56 Western. Now passing to the post for Wallace. Her turnaround in the lane is up, no good. Rebound loose on the floor. Wallace has it back. And she's fouled, gets tangled up with Big Nell in the corner. And that's her 3rd. That's the 2nd team foul on Western in this quarter. 3:45 to go. Larson will throw it in from that right baseline. You get it in for Pantoa. She works right, picks up the dribble, now comes back up top for Larson. 20 on the shot clock. Larson around a double screen, goes left. Now back to the right. Pantoa, a 3-pointer, a long one, no good. Rebound tracked down by Wooster for Western. Gives it out to King. King will get the play from Coach Woolley. Now Lamy at the top of the circle. Gives to Mesa King, back to Lamy. Now to Big Nell, to Lamy. She's going to fire up another 3-pointer. That one rims out, no good. And the rebound tracked down by Verplugen. Under 3 minutes to go.
The intensity of the Bulldogs has dropped off immensely here the last quarter.
Well, you might be able to count this one in the win column by now. Here's King to the other end, and she gets the lay-in. Brianna King. What a game.
And we're
26 points.
Substitution call here, rule that they can use a timeout, but they get stop the clock to get subs in.
They get King out of there as they replace her with Holmes. Anderson also comes back in off the bench for Western.
How many points you got King for?
I had her for 26. Pretty big afternoon.
Yes. Good way to start a tournament.
Absolutely. Down low, they feed it. The ball tipped away from McClenahan into the hands of Western. I'd like to thank those of you listening to us on KDBM out of Dillon, Montana, as we hit the top of the hour here. In the corner, Lamy drives in, tries one off the window, it's no good. Rebound loose on the floor. King ripped it away from McClenahan, but they're going to call a jump ball. The possession arrow will give it back to Dickinson. Western sitting at 99 points with 2:18 to go.
We'll have the Western men's game for you coming up 20 minutes after this one, as Tyler's going to go to a wedding on me, so I'll have that one.
Sorry to miss out. That should be a pretty good game, I think.
I think so.
99-56 here. Western women in front of Dickinson State. The Western men and Dickinson State will be tangling here momentarily, followed by Rocky Mountain College men and women in a doubleheader against the King's University out of Alberta, Canada. 1:40 to go in this one. On the right side, here's Larson with the basketball. She drives, loses the ball as she tried to go for a shot. I think that one was partially blocked, and it goes out of bounds. So Western will stay on defense. Dickinson will inbound from the left baseline. Loss here will drop Dickinson State below 500 as they get ready for Northern Conference play beginning next week. They've played a couple of conference games, but they'll get into the meat of their schedule next week. Now a kicked ball. They'll reset the shot clock, and Dickinson will inbound this time from the far sideline across from the bench. Here's McClenahan in the post, kicks it out, 6 seconds to shoot. They tie up, and Lamy will come away with a loose ball on a steal as she stepped in front of Hafer. And Western trying to break the century mark here on this possession. Lamy has it, driving to the right elbow, feeds down low for Mesa King. She hesitates, gets the hook shot, and Western crosses into triple digits. Mesa King having some good garbage time minutes here. Now the ball loose on the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. I think King touched it last, so it will stay with Dickinson State. And I think the Bulldogs thought Dickinson touched it last. Nobody willing to grab that loose ball, waiting for it to go out of bounds.
Nobody wanted to admit, you mean? Is that what you're saying?
Could have been, yes. They get it in, a three-pointer on the way. That one no good by Hafer. This time the ball rebounded by Wooster. Wooster going to track it down. 43 seconds to play. Wooster into the lane. Runner off the window, no good. Rebound tipped out. Taken by Anderson. Anderson looking to the right. Feeds it there for Lamy on the wing. Lamy drives. Takes one off the glass for two. Sierra Lamy. She's been busy today. 17 points. 103-56. 17 seconds to go. Here's Larson in the corner, gets it back out, tries the three. That one partially blocked. Holmes now with it, 9 to shoot, or 9 to play, I should say. Anderson over on the right wing. She'll be content to dribble it out and let the time run off the clock. What a win here for Montana Western as they get Dickinson State 103-56. An outstanding effort as Montana Western improves to 10-0 on the season, as they get a 103-56 victory over Dickinson State. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up here from Billings in just a moment. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Bulldog men take on the men.
Wow. Well, what a game there for Montana Western as they outlast Dickinson State 103-56. Tyler Wilch and Bob Ritter wrapping things up here on KDBM. And Bob, I'll go ahead and let you give us a look at the final stats from this game.
Some scoring. First of all, for Dickinson State, it was Wade with 2 points, Larson with 8, Jantz with 7, Karan with 12, McLennan with 10 points, Patoa with 11, Verpolgen with 2, and Wallace with 4 points. They had 24 rebounds, 7 offensive, 17 defensive rebounds. Big thing for them, Tyler, they had 25 turnovers in the ball game. They shot 43% from the floor, 28% from the three-point line, and 71% from the charity stripe. For the Bulldogs from Western, it was Cooper with 6 points, Lamy with 17, Holmes with 14, King 26, Brianna King that is, Anderson with 10, Worcester with 11, Bignell with 7, Mesa King with 6, and Darby Shy with 6 points. They had 9 turnovers, 29 rebounds, 6 offensive, 23 defensive boards. They shot 64% from the floor, 56% from the three-point line, and 77% from the charity stripe. Big thing in this ball game, as I pointed out when we were off the air, there are 48 points for Western off of turnovers in this ball game. Huge.
Yeah, that's a big difference, obviously, in this contest. That was pretty much the margin in the game right there. And Bob, you just impressed with the way Western played in all facets of the game here this afternoon.
Yeah, great ball game for Coach Wally, and the Lady Bulldogs is, they continue to chug away and just do things right. I thought, as I said many times, their defense led to a lot of those points on offense, and it definitely showed up. And just a great job by Coach Wally and the Bulldogs here. They're going to be fun to watch.
Yep, they're going to be a talented team and a tough team to beat in the Frontier this year. So, well, Bob, we'll let you get a quick break. I know you got a lot of basketball left here today. We're going to be back here on KDBM in about 20 minutes as the Montana Western men take on Dickinson State. Bob will have all that play-by-play for you. But for right now, this is Tyler Wilchin and Bob Ritter out. We're signing off from Billings, where Montana Western defeats Dickinson State 103-56.